This is going to be a little bit of a long video. I'll try to keep it short as possible. I want to talk about Shtf. And I want to apologize for any noise or disturbances you may hear. Any pauses that might be a little bit long. I want to suggest that people prep for themselves instead of going after preppers. I see this all the time, people mentioning that they want to go after preppers. Okay? And I strongly disagree with that. As an empathetic person, I wouldn't want anyone coming after me. As a practical person, and so many people are going after other people, things are still going to run out. Things are going to become chaotic when they don't need to become chaotic, at least not that soon. And many people that go after people are likely to not survive anyways, because many preppers have shielded themselves as best they can from that threat, be it with weapons, traps, or the willingness to just burn everything down anyway. Just so if they can have it, they're not going to sacrifice all their hard work for someone else to take it. Sometimes it's just the idea that, okay, these people might kill me anyway. You could live a long while off of rice. You can live a long while off of rice. You might not feel very well, some of you, but it's doable. I say rice over dried corn, dehydrated corn, because I have seen dehydrated corn molded. I've never seen dry rice molded ever. Even expired dried rice tastes just fine to me. It cooks just fine. If you want other types of grain, there are plenty. Go to Whole Food stores, local farmers. Typically not really much to get from the local farmers as far as grains, in my understanding. But obviously they're there. And most farms, a lot of the stuff that they produce never makes it to the market. That's how they get their subsidies and stuff, because things have to look a certain way, and stores only want a certain amount of quantity, etc., etc. Sometimes they donate that stuff, sometimes they don't. It goes to waste. Sometimes they use some of it themselves. Find sustainable protein source. If you're not into meat, you need to find some sort of protein. Beans, I guess, could work. Beans go bad as well. A lot of companies are making these protein bars and other sustainable things. Some of them are actually geared towards prepping. A lot of the vegan and gluten-free things have a long shelf life. Astronaut stuff and whatnot. I didn't want my tattoo in the video, but I guess it's too late now. Okay. Find a good amount of rice. If you choose other grains, that's great. There's plenty, like I said. Your camera system. You need a camera system. I suggest you have backup after backup after backup for your camera system. And do not have the camera system. Don't have them all set up on the same power source. Because once the power source goes out, you need to be able to still utilize a camera. They might have cameras that work for X amount of hours or days once the power goes out. That's fine, but still have another backup. Have a backup that runs off of its own batteries that are in the camera system itself. Have a backup that runs off of a generator. Have backups. Because if someone comes to cut off your power, you need to be able to see what's going on. You need to be able to see your threats. Try to have at least 2 camera systems running at all times. This way, you immediately have something. You're not waiting for something to click on or be turned on. As tedious as this may be, as costly for some as this may be, this is a really good idea. Place your surveillance devices where you see fit, where you can easily access them. Also, try to place them where an enemy, if they were to be able to reach you, won't gain immediate access to them, to your screens, to see where your cameras are and such. Not be hard. If you're living in an apartment, you can still survive. If you're living at home with your parents, you can still survive. Or in a roommate situation, you can still survive. No matter what you're living, how you're living, what your income is like, what your age or gender is like, I strongly suggest keeping your prepping to yourself. A lot of people have said this. Some people don't agree. Most do. I feel like most do. But it's not worth the risk of people that you know coming after you. And you might find people that you don't even know, but they knew the people you know. Because people you know are, oh, she or he is such a prepper and crazy, end of the world stuff that they believe in, blah, blah, blah. It's so easy to remember that, particularly when you're in a moment of crisis. And I don't want to be victimized any further than necessary. It's never necessary, but what I'm saying is people are going to come after you anyway. They're going to come after you anyway, complete strangers. So why add to that? I do believe it's probably easier to survive in a small group, 3 to 8 people. I feel like 8 people can do a lot. They can do wonders. Maybe just as much, if not more, than 20 people. Depending on skill set, your environment, like the dwelling you have, the land you have, the resources you have. Weapons are another thing to think about. Some people are cringy over guns and knives and such, but I'm not saying become desensitized to it, particularly not now, but get familiar with them. Do everything legally. Shotguns, I believe, all over the U.S. are legal to purchase without a gun permit. I could be wrong, but I believe so. Get a license for your gun if you need a license. I'm saying this, even though in the talking about prepping, the first day of prepping could be the first day of the SHTF could be a normal day, basically. The first week could be normal. It's because we as preppers and people that are observant and watch the news and see the changes in society, and doesn't mean that the majority will. And most things will probably still carry on. The government's probably still going to want a lot of stuff to carry on, just to kind of keep a wrap on things and keep people calm, as they say, or whatever. So there's no point in getting arrested for being an unlicensed gun carrier or anything like that. It's up to you if you're even out and about when you know that it started. I don't plan on being out and about. I plan to have all of our resources. I'm a huge rice lover. Nothing to do with my background. I do have Polynesian and Asian ancestry, but it has more to do with, I know rice is very, very sustainable. Maybe because of that, but I know it's very sustainable. My son and I, as tedious and mundane as it may be, could live off the rice for 2 years. My ideal home, I guess I'll get into this. I do plan to have an ideal home. This is another thing about speaking about home. Try to limit as much as you can the people that know where you live. If the government knows where you live, that's fine. Whatever. Of course. They're not going to go after everyone. They're not going to keep track of everyone. Even many of the, I'll say at least a good amount of the most well-prepared preppers will not be bothered by the government or anyone that's from the government, be they a rogue trying to survive on their own or whatever. There's so much to think about. I don't know if I'm going to be able to cover it all. I will definitely make another video if I have forgotten something. I made a video prior to this. It was half an hour long, but there was too many pauses and whatever. My voice is now raspy. I haven't had anything to drink yet, and I woke up about 40 minutes ago. 45 minutes ago. Yeah, I don't know. I do know. Limit who knows where you live. Don't let anyone know you're prepper. Don't let your mom, your sister, your daughter, your brother, your son, your daughter, your grandparents, your uncle, your aunt, your coworkers, your boss. They don't even know you're a prepper. There are ways to train your children without them being alarmed, without them blabbering off. I'm assuming most some kids just tell everything. But my son will be trained to, he's basically trained now, if there's danger, to come to me. He's trained, if there's danger, to come to me. Too many other people around think it's silly to prep. It doesn't matter what we're prepping for. But what if it's a virus, some bacteria, some parasite? War on U.S. soil. I don't know. Extraterrestrial visitors. Mutated animals of some sort that are here. Mutated humans that are here. Or just a really large band of people trying to overthrow the U.S. or trying to overthrow certain states. Doesn't matter what it may be. If I forgot something, it still doesn't matter what it may be. It's good to protect yourself and your children, particularly your loved ones. If you're solo, you might go crazy. That's another thing to think about. I lived alone for 2 years with a baby, and it broke me. It broke me. My mind is no longer the same, and my mind will never be the same. Not just that situation has changed me, but that broke me. Loneliness, solitude, too much rejection, all that could really change a person, usually for the worse. I'm still empathetic, but it's me and my child first. My child and myself, or us together. It is kind of like a, what can you do for me? more so that I have, particularly when it comes to strangers. Particularly when it comes to strangers looking for a favor. I've helped people all my life, basically. Starting in elementary, I would help people with whatever, their homework or whatever, while they didn't have food, so they get some of mine, or I'd give them a lunch. But they still would pick on me whenever they saw fit, or they would keep silent if someone else is picking on me. You know, the same. I've had people that I've helped extensively complain when I needed help. Half-heartedly give me help. I need XYZ. Say I needed $4, they give me 25 cents. That's just an example. Whereas they needed $40, I gave them $40. It's an example. Very accurate if you scale it up a bit, but these type of things I want to be in. I don't want going on in my life anymore. I'm done with it. I don't care who it is. Only person entitled to my money, my time, my emotions is my child. Oh, that's another thing. Get in shape. And I have to get back to the house thing. Get in shape. I got off track, but all the stuff needs to be mentioned. Get in shape. If you're not in shape, do your best to get in shape. I know it's not PC to say none of this, but I'm saying it should be PC in the first place. But get in shape. I hope this is picking up my audio. Get in shape. I would like to be in better shape. I need to be in better shape. I weigh basically around 200 pounds. I'm short. We're a size 16, 15, 16. Pants. Depending on the brand, I can wear 14. Depending on the week, yeah, actually, because when I slim down, I do wear 14. My shirts, most of them are large. Some of them are extra large, some of them are extra medium. That depends on the brand as well. I wear clothes that fit me. I don't like to stretch my clothes out or squeeze into anything. I don't know. I have thought about shaving everyone's hair that would be in my group if I had a group, or if it's just me and my son, just to shave our heads. This helps to not leave trailing. Depending on the situation, we don't know what kind of SHTF event is going to actually really be. We don't know how much the government wants to be running. We don't know how much other groups how much power they'll gain, how much equipment and things they have. I'm definitely considering that. At the moment, I'm briefly considering removing my fingerprints in that situation. My only issue with that is if things go on too long, I want them to be able to identify me. There are dental records, which is great. But that could easily be lost, right? Even though, excuse me, they're in a computer system, you know. They probably do have my, well, maybe, I'm assuming they have my DNA on file, but I don't know, but maybe not. I know my social security number by heart, I know my name, of or my sons. They can find IDs and stuff if we keep those around. The only thing is the possibility of being pushed out. Being pushed out from your safe spot, your home, your anchor down spot. And being pushed out with things carrying on for a long period of time. That's a disaster. That's a good way to just take humanity down maybe 50 plus years, 100 years even maybe. Buildings, when they're not lived in, when they're not taken care of, they just crumble. They fall apart. Just crazy, but they fall apart. Things, the sidings come loose, the shingles come down, the windows crust over, sometimes they crack, the vents fall out, loosen up. Too much happen. I've seen buildings with crack down the wall that were vacant. They were having them in a long time. I don't know. Just think about it. If you are in an apartment or whatever, like I said, you can survive. Oh, I still don't recommend going after people. I do recommend maybe having a buddy or a group where you guys have a designated place to meet up, a designated plan to survive. Scale down your food supply. Meaning, you have a pound of rice, just make a bit of it every day and try to survive. Eat every other day. I know a pound's not gonna last. Figure something out. A pound of rice costs $1 over here. Buy 5 pounds of rice. You could easily carry that in a bag. Some fanny packs can carry about 2 pounds of rice. So, excuse me. Survive. That's all I'm telling you is to survive.